The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O, the R, the K. Look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you giving 120% every day? Every play? Give me 120 or don't give me nothing at all. The guy you competing against, you haven't outworked him. You've not outworked the person next to you. You've not out-hustled them. You've not out-grind them. You've not outdone them. You're not locked in. Bring all your passion. Bring heart. Every single game, every single play. Put forth 120% or don't ask nobody to do nothing to you. The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning, Elmo. How are you? How are you, brother? I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're doing good today. I hope everybody's rolling this morning. Got to keep this one to an hour this morning because I have to travel a little bit today. So not much. I'll be home. But got to get up and after it this morning. So bring you guys some of this pre-market news, some crypto news, and then a video about from Clear Value Tax. You guys know I respect that man. So he dropped some knowledge yesterday. I wanted to make sure everybody got a chance to look at it, make sure everybody got a chance to see it. So we'll be rolling through some of that because we got to know where we're at. Elmo, I'm good, man. I'm good. About to I gotta get on the road today, actually. So I gotta go to PA. So be about an hour, and then I gotta get on the road and jump in the sky, and then get back on the road, jump back in the sky, and get back home. So it's typical day in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying, Elmo? Grinding, man. Out here grinding, man. But woke up this morning. Market's looking good. Market's looking real good. Stock market's looking good. Crypto market's looking good. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking like a money-making day, like a profit-taking day, like one of these days where we may see some good stuff come out of today in your wallets, in your pockets. The Dow's good. It's in green. The S&P's in green. The NASDAQ's in green. Jamie Dimon, and I don't disagree with him, put out an article earlier about the bank crisis not being over and how this could sit with us for a while, for years. I don't disagree with him. I don't think we're done. I think there's a little bit more fallout to come. True Value Tax, we'll get into a little bit of that in the video that I'll show you guys. But we're just focusing on today, right? You got that NASDAQ, that S&P, and that Dow all in green, all sitting there looking good. We got the Fear and Greed Index still sitting in greed. It's been in greed for a while. Bitcoin's been doing its thing. We're sitting at $1,183 billion market cap in the global cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin sitting nice at 28,214 at $214, man, sitting nice at that 28,000 mark, and that's where we want to be. We want to try to hold this 28,000 for as long as we can. Ethereum sitting nice at that $1,831 mark, sitting good at it seems to really like that $1,800 mark right now, somewhere in there. So you're sitting nice and steady right there. BNB sitting at this 310. I seen this thing as low as 3.7 yesterday. But I also seen it as high as 323 too yesterday. So it's going up and down a little bit, but you know what? It hasn't dropped below that 300 mark. So life is still good for BNB, guys. The one that worries me a little bit is right here, this XRP one. We needed to stay above that 50-cent mark. We dropped below that 50-cent mark yesterday, sitting at 49 cents. I'm hoping that today we can go ahead and bust back up above that 50-cent mark and not see a sell-off. I know everybody was anticipating the the close of the case. I was too. I thought we'd get it last month, but I think this could be the reason for the sell-off right here, as everybody was anticipating that, and it didn't come. But I hope we get above that 50-cent mark again, because this is that support resistant line that everybody's been on. XXI, what's good, brother? Good morning, man. How you like that space yesterday? Elmo, was you in Dr. Rob's space yesterday? We had fun, man. But yeah, XRP, we got to get above this 50-cent mark again. That was the support resistant line. We held on to that support line for like 4 or 5 days, and then it started to build a nice line of support. But now that 50-cent mark is playing like resistance again. And this 50-cent mark was playing like resistance for a long time for us. So I hope we can bust back above that and get things moving. Laughing out loud. That's so Daniel. I'm trying to rack up XRP. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with that XRP, man. Like, that 50 cents has acted like resistance for a while, for longer than it's acted like support. So I know, even myself, like I was saying earlier, I wanted this case to come to an end, right? I wanted this judgment to come out, and all signs were pointing towards this judgment coming out. And then when it didn't, I think a lot of people got disappointed. I think this is why you see the sell-off. You may continue to see a sell-off if this thing gets back out down into the 30-cent range, which it very well could over the next couple of days, because that's been the trend for the last like 18 months. Is if we can't get to 50 cents and get above 50 cents, it usually goes back down to that 30-35 cent range. So yeah, that space was good, man. Love the energy. Yeah, we got MMAI's got great energy, man. Elmo, man, that space has great energy yesterday, man. Love the space, love the conversation, man. We always seem to get ourselves in conversations about general crypto, and how to make this space better, and how to really move this space forward in different viewpoints and different mindsets. And that's the one thing I love about our spaces, is that everybody has an opinion, right? And them opinions are talked about, as long as you want to come up and talk about them. Elmo, yeah, great space. Ken, good morning, good early afternoon to you. How are you, brother? But here's the big mover of the day right here, guys. Dogecoin. It jumped Cardano, to be the number 7 cryptocurrency. It jumped Cardano, sitting at right around 10 cents right now. It looks like it's up about 29% on a 24-hour, right? And about 40% on a 7-day. Big mover. If you guys have been with me from day one, I always hold a bag of Doge. And how I play Doge is simple. Damn, I didn't share my screen. You guys didn't even tell me I didn't share my screen. I'm over here talking. I didn't share my screen. I didn't do none of that, man. You know I gotta travel today when I'm missing all that. But yeah, Doge being the big one, right? The big mover, because of Elon. But you guys know I play Doge. My my Doge holdings are great. Yeah. But Elmo, yeah, mine too. But how I play Doge, guys, you guys know, if you've been locked in for a while, how I play Doge is Elon always does some crazy shit, right? With Doge. So as soon as he does some crazy stuff, Doge pumps, like, and he did that yesterday. And then it dumps, and Doge will dump hard, right? Um, and then it'll trade sideways forever. And then Elon will come out, he'll do some more crazy stuff, and Doge will pump, and then this cycle just rinses and repeats itself, right? So what I do with those is I always buy a bag of those on the way down, right? And then when Elon does something crazy and we get a pump like this, I'll sell out, right? And then I'll wait. I'll wait for it to crash, because it will. This will go back down into that, 0.7, cent to 0.6 cent range again. And I'll buy another bag, and I'll wait for Elon to do something crazy again. And then I'll ride that pump up and sell it and wait for the crash and do the same thing, because Doge really doesn't have any utility outside of Elon. So, you got, when Elon does some crazy stuff like this, it's coming. The pump's coming. My Doge looks looking good too. Yeah, everybody's Doge is looking good. As long as you didn't buy at the top, you're looking good, man. Your Doge is looking good. Everything is looking good for Doge. But that's the big mover of the past 24 hours, right? Polygon's, moving up a little bit, sitting at $1.12. Not a lot of movement. It's trading sideways a little bit. Not a lot going on with Polygon, but look at Doge though. I mean, I can't believe like Doge jumped Cardano last night. So Elon, man, Elon can move the market, right? And you look at SHIB here, it's up 6%, on the 24 hour. Not bad. Slight move up. I hold SHIB too, guys. I hold, I'm a long-term holder of SHIB. I've had SHIB in my wallet for a while. I say to you guys, I say to everybody, like, my wallets don't look right if they don't have SHIB and Doge in them. It's just kind of two staples that I always like to have in my long-term wallet and my trading wallet as well. They just kind of like, I don't know, like I just can't not have them. So Stellar's doing its thing, sitting there right around that 10-cent range, trading sideways at 10 cents, really building a good support line at 10 cents. Still a little high for me to buy some more, because of where my average cost is, but building a nice support line at 10 cents right there, guys. I think these ISO coins are going to take off. You see Hedera sitting here at 32. It just continually like inches its way up the charts. It's sitting at what on average, because CoinMarketCap gives you an average. It's sitting at about 6 cents, 6.8. So it just keeps inching its way up the charts. So these ISO coins, they're just slowly inching their way up. Crow, I believe in Crow. I think it'll be around for a little while, but I don't think that it's going, it's going to be a little while for that thing to rebound. I have some, but Unless it gets down to 5 cents, I ain't buying anymore. Quant guys, gotta own quant. My opinion is you have to own quant. I own quant. I'm not gonna say that I own a lot of quant, but I own enough quant. And I continually just DCA my way into quant. Quant's a different animal, guys. It's a different beast. It's one of these things where if you know what's coming with the ISOs and you believe in the ISO coins, and you believe in interoperability with blockchain, quant is you gotta own quant because quant's gonna be a beast in this game and bringing people together. You know, with ETH unlocking on the 12th, what do you? With ETH unlocking on the 12th doesn't really scare me. I don't think that there's going to be a huge sell off on the 12th for Ethereum when it unlocks. I think we may see some people dumping it, but for the most part, I think it's going to stay pretty steady. I don't think that we're going to see a massive dump. So, you know, we'll see. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it, Ken. It's one of these things. It's kind of like the whole Bitcoin situation with Mt. Gox. And you know, do you see a big huge issue with that? I do, but I'm not scared about it, right? So I think with ETH unlocking on the 12th, you know, I think that them guys are long-term holders, and I just you know, I just don't see it. Good morning, Dr. Rob. Elmo, drive safe, man. Drive safe, brother. Can get those miles in, Doc. Yeah, Doc's probably on his bike, man. Out there on his bike, riding around the neighborhood, scaring the kids. But Doge is the one today. Yesterday and today, guys. Doge is the one taking off. You see it, it's up 29.7% on the 24-hour right here on the day. So chart's looking good. Elmo, before you go to work, you probably already know this, but we'll go ahead and check on your HEX for you. Sitting at 7 cents. Looks like it's up about 1% on the hour, down about 2.5% on the overnight. So Hex hanging in there. Hex is doing all right, man. But yeah, the overnight markets, the Asian markets, and they seem to treat crypto pretty well. You know, a lot of green there, a lot of green going on the overnight. Go ahead and look at the hourly. More green starting to fill in on the hourly. I'm telling you guys, I think the market's going to do good today. The stock market looks absolutely phenomenal today. And the crypto market looks great today. You know, we got Bitcoin at this 28.3 and Ethereum sitting at this 18.68. Just continues to go up. Even as we're talking, market looks really, really strong today, guys. Go ahead and get into, you know, we talked about this right here. You know, why is Doge pumping? Well, Elon changed the logo of Twitter. That's all that happened, guys. Literally, that's all that happened. Elon came in here. He changed the Twitter bird to the Doge dog, and we see this pump, right? I'm gonna ride this thing up, you know, in my bag of Doge. I'm gonna ride it up until I see it start to make a move to the downside, and then I'll sell, and then I'll buy this on the downside again when it starts to crash, because it will. And then I'll hold it, and Elon will do some more crazy stuff like this, and it'll ride up again, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll put that on rinse and repeat. But yeah, that's the only reason Doge is pumping. Like Doge didn't do anything special. They just changed the bird to the dog. That was it. Bring you guys' attention to a couple of coins here. South Korea traders are jumping on SXP and ICX, and I'll tell you guys what these tokens are here. Later on in this article, it's Solar, which is SXP, and Icon, which is ICX. For some reason, the South Korea market is really jumping into these tokens, and they've actually seen a 40% increase over the last 24 hours in a 24-hour period. But I don't bring you this news right here to tell you to go jump in these coins, right? Solar or Icon, right? But this is a prime example of how the Asian market can drive crypto up, right? And we know that they're starting to open up their trading platforms. The overseas markets are starting to open up their cryptocurrency trading platforms. So just one country, South Korea, and we all know we love South Korea, man. That's where our MMAI is. They drove these tokens up 40%, guys. But for some reason, and I haven't done enough research because I just seen this article this morning about why Solar and why Icon are a hot token in South Korea and why everybody's buying them and they're driving the price up 40%. I don't know what's going on with these two tokens over there, but there's something up with these two. So I got to dig in a little bit deeper and figure out why everybody in South Korea is jumping into these two tokens right here, and what utility they're bringing out, and why they're hot in South Korea. But this story really just lets me know even further that as these Asian markets open up and they start to open up their trading platforms even more and more, which we know that they are, what type of impact this is going to have on a cryptocurrency trading industry, right? So, take that for what it's worth, do your own research on them tokens, but, they're a hot topic, guys. And here we are again talking about the U.S. dollar and the United States and the European nations and all the European nations, and how we're starting to lose a lot of credibility around the world. The Saudi Arabian Crown Prince right here is no longer interested in pleasing the U.S. So in this article, basically what he's saying is, like we did a lot for the U.S. We did a lot to please the U.S. We did a lot to drive the dollar up. We did a lot to drive the other European currencies up. But we're no longer interested in doing that. We're no longer interested in making sure that, these guys are happy with what Saudi Arabia is doing and stuff like that. We're more concentrated on what we're doing and how we're moving things. Just another example of that slap, right? Like to say, we're clapping back at the United States and the European nations, like we're making our own coalitions over here, and we don't really care what you think. And unfortunately, it's gonna have a big impact on the dollar. It's gonna have a big impact on the rest of the European nations as well. Morning, guys. Morning, brother. Timsky. That's Timsky right there. Timsky on his burner account. So it's gonna have an impact, guys. But I'm gonna share this video with you guys for a minute. Because I think that we talk a lot about finance, we talk a lot about the government, we talk a lot about what the impact of this is going to be. And you guys know that I'm a big true clear value tax. I like this dude. He breaks it down. He breaks everything down in a way that makes sense, and in a way that people can understand it from a financial standpoint. And I want to share this video with you guys. He breaks down the Federal Reserve now printing money again, and how they're saying they're not, but they are. So go ahead, pay attention to this. We'll come back. We'll talk about it.
Going up, and I want you to know why. It's because the Federal Reserve the stock market has been rebounding. Bitcoin has been going up. And
I don't think my computer wants me to play this video.
Want you to know why. It's because the Federal Reserve has been printing money again. The money printing has reversed months of quantitative tightening, about 5 months worth. But the Federal Reserve, they're saying that it's not quantitative easing, but it's not quantitative easing either. So they're basically saying that it's not money printing, but it's not money printing. It's something completely new. So let me tell you what's going on. The Federal Reserve is supposed to be doing quantitative tightening in order to lower inflation. They're supposed to be taking money out of the economic system by reducing their balance sheets. But the banks got in trouble, so the Fed came to the rescue. They expanded their balance sheets by a net $320 billion in March. However, because the Fed didn't buy the treasuries, they're saying that technically it's not quantitative easing. But I want to tell you the truth. I want to tell you what's going on. The Federal Reserve is saying that technically it's not quantitative easing because no new money has been created. That is a lie. So when you look at the Federal Reserve's newly created Bank Term Funding Program, their BTFP, they're letting the banks put up their treasuries or other assets as collateral at par value. So the Fed isn't buying the treasuries. The banks are just posting them as collateral, but you still have the Fed injecting cash into the system, and additionally, they're giving par value. So if you post up a treasury bond that's worth $70 and the Federal Reserve gives you $100, then isn't that money printing? So new money that never existed in the system above the fair value is entering the system. So if that's not money printing, then I don't know what is. But I do agree with one part of what they're saying. If the loan does get paid back and the collateral does get returned, then the balance sheet will shrink and that process will be QT. But in the meantime, what they're doing right now, it is QE. So I do agree that it's not going to be as stimulative as handing out stimulus checks, but this is still money printing being disguised as something else. So their BTFP facility, it is backdoor QE. The Fed's balance sheet, it is growing along with the reserves. So now I want you to know that this whole situation, this whole process, it's more complicated and even worse than what you think. So did you know that the Federal Reserve is actually losing money? They're losing billions of dollars every week. The Fed has bought up trillions of dollars worth of treasuries and MBS, and they need to pay interest to the institutions that park their money with them. So since September, the Fed has lost close to $50 billion.
Meet your next pillow. Why do we make our pillow in the shape of a cube? I'll tell you.
Now, I want you to know this. When the Federal Reserve makes money, they send most of it back to the U.S. Treasury. So the Treasury makes about $100 billion a year like this, and they absolutely love it. But this year, the Fed is on track to losing more than $100 billion. So when the Federal Reserve makes a profit, they send the bulk of it back to the U.S. Treasury. But you know what happens when the Federal Reserve loses money? You know what they do? They just print it. They print it, they make up the difference. So the Federal Reserve has not posted an annual loss in over 100 years. But the Federal Reserve is expected to continue losing money every year from now until 2026. So that is how bad the situation is. But honestly, that is just the tip of the iceberg. So you know how Silicon Valley Bank, they went down because they had too many treasury bonds. Interest rates went up, and then the treasury bonds, they fell in value. And they had to liquidate some of that, and they realized billions of dollars in losses, right? So think about it. It is the same situation with the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve's SOMA portfolio is all underwater right now because all their assets were purchased when interest rates were much lower. So I want you to think about that. In addition to the Federal Reserve losing billions of dollars each week, they're carrying about $1 trillion of unrealized losses. So the Federal Reserve is basically Silicon Valley Bank on steroids. It's exponentially worse. And it's funny because the Federal Reserve, they're trying to put out all these fires. They're trying to save the banking industry while at the same time their own house is on fire. So just think about all that. I mean, this is a disaster in the making. Now, I want to tell you what is going on with the stock market. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the truth, and because I don't know anyone else who's going to tell you this. In the United States, we do not have a free market economy. A free market economy is defined as an economic system based on supply and demand with little or no government control. The American economic system is more centrally planned than you think. So think about it. I'm going to give you some examples. Who do you think determines the direction of the housing market? Do you really think that it's buyers and sellers? Or is it mortgage interest rates dictated by the Federal Reserve? So there is no true price discovery. We're at the mercy of the Federal Reserve, bubbles forming, bubbles popping. Now, who determines whether we're going to have economic boom or economic bust? Is it based on businesses and consumers and productivity? Of course not. It's based on, is there easy money? Is there easy monetary policy in place by the Federal Reserve, or is there not? Who determines the direction of the stock markets? Is it companies going at it? Who's going to be the best and who's going to outcompete? Is the stock market going to go up? No, it's based on, is there quantitative easing or is there quantitative tightening? It's the monetary policy by the Federal Reserve. Like, who are we kidding? So listen, we all know the answer. We know that this is going on, but there are so few people that are brave enough to actually say the truth. That the Federal Reserve determines the direction of the economy, the housing market, the bond market, the stock market. Who are we kidding? The history books, I say that they're going to write about this time as when the central bankers gained too much power. But today, right now, we're focusing on the Federal Reserve and the stock market, what they're going to do with the stock markets. So the stock market's performance has an 87% correlation with the Federal Reserve's quantitative easing policy. So I've covered that thoroughly in my previous videos. So the stock market has been going up because the Federal Reserve has been printing money and because of market psychology. So there's been trouble with the banks. The Fed came running to the rescue. So I would say sprinting. Emergency meetings, newly created lending facilities, they're basically bending over backwards. So now the stock market expects that the Federal Reserve has their back, that there's a Fed put in place. And you know what? I don't blame the stock market for believing that or acting the way that it is, because Jay Powell, he's acting all tough. He's trying to appear all tough, but the market called the bluff. They called the bluff of the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve, they folded, insta-fold. So this is obviously going to be counterproductive in their fight against inflation. We just don't know how bad the consequences will be. But I just want you to think about the dangers that are ahead. Well, at least the ones that we know of. We don't even know about the dangers that we don't know of. But the ones that we do know of, well, look at the banks. They're not out of the woods yet. Commercial real estate, you probably heard a little bit about that, but that could escalate the situation. If something breaks, especially related to the banks, then you can expect that the Federal Reserve is going to print that money and expand the balance sheet like there is no tomorrow. So the way I see it, there are four outcomes here. The first one is, well, one of the four is recession. 2, the second outcome could be high inflation. 3, stagflation, or 4, a soft landing. So you tell me what you think the outcome will be.
I'm so fat.
Brendan, you're not fat. It's the shirt. Look at Nate. His true.
Now, I just want to take a few seconds here to speak to you from the heart. And this is just my opinion. I believe that in this economic cycle, we will not have an economic depression. Yes, I've said this before. Everybody knows that I feel this way, that the Federal Reserve is stuck between a rock and a hard place. But I think that there's still enough wiggle room, that there's still enough economic slack to avoid an economic depression. I mean, if the Federal Reserve screws this one up, that's hard for them to screw up, but I'd be so surprised if they did, okay? Right now, the Federal Reserve, they're trying to get involved everywhere. They're trying to do everything they can to produce a soft landing, and they're micromanaging the banking turmoil, okay? But once they realize and admit that there's not going to be a soft landing, then they're going to have to decide which path will be most tolerable. Is it going to be a recession? Is it going to be high inflation? Or is it going to be stagflation? So I think this is how the story is going to play out. Okay, so you have to remember that the US economy is centrally planned. And once the Federal Reserve realizes that they cannot pull off a soft landing, then they're going to choose a recession. So that is when unemployment goes up. That is when zombie companies start to go out of it. They go bankrupt. They go out of business. But this is where inflation continues to fall. We're talking about CPI and PCE coming down. But then we're going to come across that point in time where that pain, where the economic pain is intolerable. And at that point in time, that is when the Federal Reserve will shift their monetary policy. They're going to do their Fed pivots. And that's when the Federal Reserve will decide to trade off higher inflation for a less severe economic recession. In the next video, I need to give you an update on the Fed pivot, because many investors are hoping that a Fed pivot will be great news for equities. But history shows, and I've said this before, that history shows that a Fed pivot is the start of a bear market. It is not the end of it. The collapse usually comes after the pivots. So in addition to all the recent money printing, Bitcoin has been going up because people think that it will be a hedge against bank runs, against financial instability. So that's basically the original purpose and the intention by Satoshi Nakamoto. However, is that really how it's going to play out? Or will BTC and crypto be treated no differently than stocks on the NASDAQ? So let me know what you think. So these are the topics that we'll be exploring in the days ahead. But the theme is that the Federal Reserve and their decisions drives everything. So just understand that, understand the truth, understand how this game is played. But all of this is getting very dangerous really quickly because the Federal Reserve's credibility is now coming into question. And just like any other bank, confidence must not be lost. So I'm going to keep you updated. Please subscribe. I thank you for all the support, and I wish you a very nice day. Please take care.
I hope you guys found that to be somewhat.
Recordings just got better.
Hold on.
Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now.
I hope you guys found that somewhat interesting. I think he breaks it down. Hold on. I think he breaks it down in a way where people could actually relate to what's going on. As you guys can see, you know, the money printing itself, it hasn't stopped. It's just in a way where it's smoke and mirrors, right? And this is why Bitcoin is on its way up. This is why Bitcoin is continuing to sit at $28,000, is because they continually put together these money printing scams. I'll tell you guys straight up. He gave you 4 options, right? How this thing could be laid out. I've said on this channel, I don't know how many times, and I'll continue to say it. I think that we are headed for stagflation. I think that's where we're going to end up. He's really informed him. Yeah, Ken, he is, man. Ken, whoever's not following Clear Value, go follow him. I heard him yesterday. Yeah, Elmo. A lot of people are watching him, man. A lot of people are paying attention to what Clear Value says, because he is, you know, he's a beast in this game, you know, and he tends to be right a lot. And you know, yeah, I listen to him. You know, I'll tell you guys straight up, like, I listen to him. But I do think that we are headed for stagflation. I think that not only the United States, but I think the European nations in general are headed for stagflation. I think that we're headed for a situation where interest rates, I mean, you know, inflation's going to go up. It's going to stay up. It's going to stay high, right? And wages are going to come down. And we're going to hit this stagflation point for a little while. And that's what's going to cause not only the United States, but all the European nations to have to pivot on what they're doing, because it's going to be unsustainable. And I only say that because we can't continue on with, I'm in the business world. We can't continue on with paying the salaries that are being paid, with in trying to keep up with the rate of inflation. At some point, businesses are going to say, you know what, we're good. You know, we're good with that. We're not going to keep doing this. So, you know, I'll tell you, my opinion is that we're headed for stagflation. At worst, stagflation. At best, a recession. The status quo. The status quo can't hold forever. No, Elmo, it can't. The status quo cannot hold forever. And you know, there's something's going to break. You know, the banking system throughout, you know, you look at it throughout the European nations have broke, right? And it's going to the banking system is going to continue to break. I don't think that we're done, but something else is going to break. And my thought is that it's going to be the housing market. The housing market is going to break. This is how they remove any money people have. Yeah, this is exactly how they're doing it. They want your savings to be drained. They want your side money to be drained. And this is one of the ways that they're doing it, is they're going to head into stagflation or inflation. I think stagflation is worst case scenario. I think inflation is best case scenario, to tell you the truth. I just think that, you know, there's no doubt that we're headed for a recession. Nobody wants to see stagflation. I'm telling you right now, nobody's going to want to see stagflation. Stagflation is not where we want to be, but I think that's where we're headed. Housing market already heading down. Yeah, and I think it's going to break, but I don't think it's going to break like it broke before, right? I've kind of watched this housing market for a little while. I think it's going to break a little bit different. I think that, you know, you take Florida, for example, right? Florida, everybody's moving to Florida, right? That's one of the places that everybody wants to go, right? Everybody's moving to Florida, right? So I think that housing market will continue to stay hot, right? But I think there's other places where the housing market itself is going to start to come down. Midwest, Northeast, Texas will stay hot. So I think you're going to have pockets of real estate markets that are going to stay hot, and everybody else is going to take a big crapper, right? We're going to be in a toilet, right? And that's what I think. I think Texas will stay hot. I think Florida will stay hot. California will always stay hot. But I think you're going to see a lot of downside in the real estate market. Lena, how are you? Good morning, Lena. Good morning. But I think we're going to see a lot of downside, and I think when that breaks, I think that's when you'll see the pivot. You're gonna break the banks, which in turn is going to break the real estate market because credit's getting tighter and tighter and tighter, right? So if you can't get loans to buy houses, and you can't get loans to buy cars, and you can't get loans to do all this stuff, then that's going to really drive down basically the demand, right? And if the housing market goes into a slump, then that means people are in credit gets tighter. That means what happens when that happens, right? Foreclosures start to happen. More people start to lose their homes. More people start to not be able to afford the things that they were once able to afford because they were living off of credit, right? And now that credit's no longer good for them. So you're going to see this housing market start to come down. You're going to see people start to foreclose on stuff. You're going to see all this stuff start to happen. And then when your hourly rates goes down, then that's where your stagflation gets in. Geo, I'm just gonna go with Geo1. Geo1, good morning, brother. What's going on? There she goes. Yeah, there she goes, creeping. Yep, there's Lena. We love Lena when she stops by. Gold. Okay, Rob says gold. We go with gold. Doc getting them legs in. Yeah, he riding his bike, man. Gold can payments begin at any oath. I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say here. Around 700 a month is wild. Gold, I agree with you. That is wild, man. That is wild. What's up, Cool and Chris? What's up? What's going on, brother? Glad to see you this morning. But yeah, I think we're gonna have, when you look at where we're headed, I don't think that we are. I don't think we're done with this banking crisis, and I don't think that we're done with stagflation. I don't think that we're done with the housing market either. I can see the housing market taking a big downturn, but stagflation is huge, guys. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning. How are you? And I think there's an opportunity, like Clear Value Tech said, for us to go in stagflation. And that is going to be the worst thing for the economy. It's going to be the worst thing for the United States. But I don't only think that it's going to be the United States that drops into stagflation. I think it's going to be all of the European nations. We all seem to be riding this thing together. I think it's going to be bad. Making True Money, what's going on, brother? Good morning. Good morning. You guys got me for about another 15-20 minutes, and then I told you I gotta go catch a plane out of here real quick to Pennsylvania, do my thing, and then catch one back. So he can he and Shadow slow down. Yeah. Dr. Rob and Lena going at each other. That was a great video. Yeah, Clear Value Tax does a great job, man. Does a great job on his videos, and he breaks them down so that everybody can understand them. Like, you got to be in this. If you're in this financial thing every day, you kind of can get a lot of what they're trying to throw at you from a federal government standpoint. But if you're not in this thing every day, and you're not, 10 toes down in this thing, as Dr. Rob likes to say, you miss it. You don't understand what's up, and you don't put all these things together. But definitely need to start putting these things together so that we know where we're headed, right? If you are invested in Doge, guys, pay attention. It's breaking to the downside a little bit. Just getting off of work from Tesla, trying to go Go meet Austin. Make it true money. There you go, brother. Go meet Austin, man. Go hang out. Go have a good time, man. He said he put out a tweet like if anybody's interested to reach out and that he would he get back at you guys. I know there's a couple people that are talking about going down there and meeting up with him and Augie in Texas and really hanging out with them guys for a minute. So go do that, man. Go take that opportunity to meet Augie and Austin, man. Go do that. They're right there. Temporary. True money. Yeah, but if you're there, go take that opportunity. But the market's holding up, guys. It really is. It's we got Bitcoin sitting at 28.2, come down a little bit, but no, it's actually come up a little bit. 28.2. We got Ethereum sitting at 1,863. BNB still at 300, 310. Not bad. XRP, guys, if we don't break back above this 50-cent line, we're going back down. Pay attention to that, because if we don't break above this, we're headed back down to the downside. This 50-cent line right here, and we're sitting at 49 cents. That 50-cent line has been resistance, and over the past couple of days, it's been support, and now it looks like it's going back to resistance. So we have to bust above that in order for us to keep moving to the upside. But you guys see Doge. It's sitting at the number 7 crypto. It just moved back up into the number 7 crypto, but Cardano just jumped it for a second and then it jumped back above it. But we went from that 10-cent range down to this 9-cent range. So if you're looking for if you're in it for a quick buck, you better pay attention to that, because the American markets are starting to wake up. The overseas markets treated Doge well, right? But the American markets and the European markets are starting to wake up. They may not treat it so well, so it looks like it's breaking a little bit to the downside. So you guys better pay attention. Gold, they're gonna guess late February 2025 will be Bitcoin's Bitcoin's. You think we're not gonna get there till 2025 gold? I think we're gonna hit it in 2024. I don't know if we'll get to that all-time high, but I think we're gonna hit the bull run in 2024. But I will tell you guys, if we hit stagflation, if that does happen, and the government puts us in stagflation, then I don't see us hitting a bull run in 24. So gold could be right, depending on how this thing plays out. The Europeans already beat that Doge. Y'all can have the rest. It looks like everybody's taking profits off of that already, Lena, and you guys hit it first. I think market might rebound mid 2024. I think so too, Dr. Rob, but I think it depends on where I think it depends on what type of recession that we go into. Wiley always something. That's between Lena and Lena. A good 7 to 9 months. 7 to 9 months coming next year. I think that once we turn this corner gold, I think that the market has to I think the world has to put itself into a recession of some sort in order for us to turn around gold. So I think that once that happens, right? Once the world puts itself in somewhat of a recession, whatever that looks like, then I think we're going to see this bull run, the likes that we've never seen before, and I think it's probably going to last probably for a good I would say a good 12 months, but there are going to be a lot of millionaires made out of this bull run if you're doing it right. I think I'm not scared of the recession. I'm actually welcoming the recession. I think we need the recession. I just hope that we don't sit in stagflation for a while. The recession screws up everything. It does screw up everything, but it gives you a chance for a reset. And right now we need a reset. Right now the world needs a reset. And when it comes to the financial markets, don't forget though, the ISO 2,222 coins are getting ready, to take that law is getting ready to take effect here pretty soon. And that's why you see the Fed now jumping on this. So you very well may see a utility run in these ISO coins long before you see a bull run in the market in general. I don't, I think that they may run by themselves, and you may see that utility run as this thing rolls out. It's not actual law yet, but it's people can start rolling it out. The banking systems can start rolling it out. So you very well could see a utility run in Hex, in XLM, in Quant, in all these tokens that are considered ISOs, and Algorand, and the list goes on. And they literally could run by themselves. So self-employed folks are terrified. Yeah. Everybody's terrified, right? I think everybody's terrified of a recession. I'm not self-employed, and I'm terrified of a recession, but at the same time, I think that it's a good reset, and we need that reset. Hopefully, people who are self-employed, who saved up. Yeah, I mean that's part of being self-employed. You gotta save up. Making true money. And I don't think, I mean, I'm scared of it, but at the same time, I think it's needed. I think a lot of people are going to lose their jobs in the near future here. I think you're going to see salaries go down, not only in America, but across the country. I think COVID put us in a situation where salaries have been driven up almost to the point of unsustainability. You're going to see these things drop down. I don't see the inflation across the country, across the world, coming down at the rate that it should. And the numbers bear that out. So eventually something's got to give, right? And it's going to be salaries, and it's going to be salaries, and it's going to be that inflation rate. And this is the way, believe it or not, I mean, you guys know I'm a straight shooter. This is the government, and this is governments across the European nations, basically making sure that everybody gets back in their place. The rich will survive this. The middle class will struggle through this. And they'll probably deplete their savings and everything else. And this is actually what they want. You can see it. They track the savings accounts that are in, that people that are saving, right? They track that. They know how much money people are saving and who's spending their savings and who's not, and how much of it. But I don't want to say who, but how much of it is coming in the system and out of the system. So it's definitely coming. The only person making money in a recession is Cool and Chris. is Cool and Chris. Yeah, a lot of people gonna be calling that phone for Cool and Chris. There's a few banks I have that's working with XLM. Yeah, a lot of banks are working with XLM. Keep in mind, Bank of America, which is one of the biggest banks in the United States, they're working with XRP. They got something going on with XRP. XLM is going to be a big player. XRP is going to be a big player. Quant's going to be a huge player because that Quant's going to bring it all together. Making true money. Yeah. Quant's going to be, I think Quant's going to be the winner, right? When it comes to this whole ISO 222, Quant's the one, in my opinion. Quant's the one because they're the one who bring it all together. Don't sleep on Alliance Black Next Era either. They're doing some stuff that's unique and a little bit different, and they just hooked up with MEXC for their KYC on the blockchain and stuff. So, don't sleep on them. There's a lot of them out there. The low class will be hit the hardest. XXI, I'm not sure. I think the middle class has always hit the hardest. And when it comes to recession, I think that the rich, they have enough savings to take care of things. The super poor, they're going to get a bailout, right? It's that working middle class that's going to be hit the hardest, and I think we got to define what that means, right? I think it's that working middle class that's actually going to get hit the hardest during a recession, because you're not going to see the raises that you've seen before, and you're not going to qualify for any of the benefits, and inflation is going to go up, so the prices are going up, and you're not making any more money, and that's going to be what's going to drive a lot of people out of this market. It's what's going to drive a lot of people into their savings account, out of the stock market, and out of the crypto market. Only thing going down in price in London. Yeah, Ken, I agree. Pay attention to these gas prices too. They're not cutting the production of oil to lose money, guys. You're gonna start paying more for your gas across the world, which means you're gonna start paying more for your goods, which means you're gonna start paying more for your airline tickets, which means you're gonna start paying more for everything that involves gas. You're gonna start paying more for, and everything involves gas. You can't get food, you can't get anything without paying gas. So don't sleep on that. That's a big deal. And what's your thought on the crypto market and in a recession? I think we'll go backwards, XXI, during a recession, because people aren't going to have the expendable money to pay to buy crypto that they have now. Middle class middle class because they live above their means. Yeah, they do. That's why it's always important to start cutting your debt. Like right now, if you're rolling with a lot of debt, you're probably rolling in the wrong direction. You have to cut some of that debt in these times. Don't forget the sleeping giant. Chainlink. Yeah. Elmo Chainlink is a sleeping giant in that ISO world. Not a lot of people talk about it when it comes to ISOs. Sometimes I actually forget it's an ISO. Yeah, I agree, Dr. Robert Ken. The middle class always gets the short end of the stick. They do. The middle class always gets that issue, right? Because there's that tax issue. The Crypto Smith is in the house. Good morning, brother. The middle class always does get stuck with holding the bag, and the working middle class always, because I hate to say it, I grew up with next to nothing. My mom worked her butt off, raised 3 kids, didn't have a lot. And so I get it. I understand it. But, let's be honest. The government doesn't make money. They're not a revenue producing arm. Any governments, whether it's the United States government, they don't produce revenue. They collect taxes. That's their revenue. And I think what we have going on, and then what you have going on is you have the rich who through no fault of their own. I mean, it is through fault of their own, but who wouldn't do the same thing? They hire smart people to make sure that they pay the least taxes as possible, right? And that's what they do, and I don't blame them for that. You always want to pay the least amount of taxes that you possibly can on your money. Like I'm not hating on them for that. Like, and then you have the poor, right? Who, get tax returns, right? All the time. And if you get a tax return, that means, you're taking money out of the system. You're not putting money in the system, right? You paid $2,000 in taxes, and they gave you a refund of $3,000 in taxes. You actually took $1,000 out of the system. The working middle classes are the ones that, they pay their taxes, which funds the government, and don't get these big, huge refunds, and then all of a sudden end up funding everything, right? And that's the system we have. That's how it works. Elmo, I'm about to start buying that up by the way. Not allowed. Okay. Chainlink. I always forget that that's an ISO. Sean, yes, the Crypto Smith is in the building. He is in the building. But so I mean, that's how the governments work. The government only collects money. The only revenue they have is tax dollars. So every time you're paying taxes, that's revenue for the government. That's the only revenue they have. The government should change that. Should change that and start investing and making the government starts investing, then they're going to manipulate the market. Like button, yes, hit that like button. CryptoPie. Hey CryptoPie, how are you? Rob, CryptoPie. I'm trying to go through these. You guys know I gotta go. I gotta catch a plane, so I gotta get up out of here. Hey Rob, XXI, Chainlink, Elmo selling XXI and Chainlink. But yeah, I gotta get out of here, guys. I gotta take a little bit of a drive. I gotta hop up in the air for a little while, drop my butt down in another place, and then drive a little bit longer and then get back up in the air and drop my butt back down at home. So so here we go. Here's the stats, guys. 269 subscribers. I lost 3 subscribers yesterday after Twitter Space, but that's all right. That's all good. I'm good with that because we said what needed to be said, and I'm not sorry about it, and I'm good with it. We're sitting on like 2,070 something hours. I think that YouTube is way behind because there's another stat that I look at on my YouTube studio that has watch hours way above that. So I'm just waiting for them to roll them over. I think we're closer to 2,200, but we gotta wait for YouTube to update that. Will you still be on tonight? Yeah, I'll be back home by tonight, Dr. Rock. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at, guys. I appreciate it. And when we do hit that mark, hopefully by April 15th, we'll be giving away 200. We'll be giving away a total of $750. It'll be 3 lucky winners of $250 a piece, and we'll be giving that away in either ETH or USDC. We'll do that through the StreamYard picker. Numbers are going up, guys. It's a good thing. The watch hours are going up. I appreciate it all. Stream them live videos that are in there, guys. If you want to catch up on all the lives, if you guys want to catch up on all my lives and you guys want to really know what we talk about here, stream them live videos. I am being careful what I say on YouTube because I don't want to get hit with solicitation. So you got to read between the lines of what I'm telling you. Is if you guys want to get caught up on all the live videos and what we really talk about here, go ahead and start watching it from the beginning. You'll understand what this channel is all about. But we are definitely on our way up. We are definitely making moves, guys. And big shout out to Dr. Rob. Big shout out to Elmo for always helping the channel out with the giveaway. We will we'll do it. When we hit that mark, hopefully by April 15th, we'll give that cash away to 3 lucky winners. Why the cookies? What'd you say, Ken? Why the cookie crumbles? When the cookie crumbles, yeah, I ain't worried about it, Ken, man. It is what it is, man. The people don't bother me, man. My ultra, peace. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Appreciate you. Great stream. Thanks, Dr. Rob. So yeah, I'm gonna get out because I got some stuff I gotta take care of, and then I gotta get to where I gotta get to make sure that I am in the places that I need to be when I need to be there. Short trip for me today, but I appreciate all you guys here in the morning. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Appreciate you guys having some good conversation today. Hope you guys took something away from this. And I will actually see you guys tonight at 6:30 p.m. Or at least hear you guys tonight at 6:30 p.m. on the Twitter space. Daniel and Waddy's Crypto, General Crypto. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything, man. We're going to talk about some of these old rug pools. and what we learned from them. We're going to maybe talk about some blockchain and mining. We're going to maybe talk about, you know, a whole host of things that we actually got into yesterday on Dr. Rob's stream, which was an amazing stream, amazing Twitter space, I should say, an amazing Twitter space. I know it was super long, which is a little odd for Dr. Rob Space to go 3 hours anymore. He used to do marathons, but now 3 hours is a little bit long. But we actually had a great space and a lot of topics that we'll be hitting on tonight. So, man, stop on by, hit that reminder button so you don't forget. Go to Twitter, hit that reminder button so that you guys don't forget and that it pops up on your phone. But we're going to have a great space tonight, and we're going to get into a lot of that stuff. And you know, we're going to put it down, guys. We're going to make sure that we have a good conversation. Come up, grab the mic, have that conversation with us. I want to hear from everybody. We all have different takes on everything, and I respect everybody's opinion as long as it's done in a way that's not just flooding things and making things, you know, just causing trouble, basically. But if you got an opinion on the topic, come up and grab the mic, man. We would love to hear from you. And it's an open and honest space, guys. So with that, guys, I'm out. You guys have a great day. You know, go back, watch the lives from the beginning of this channel, and go ahead and catch up on what this channel does. There's 72 hours worth of lives for you guys to catch up on. Go ahead, catch up on all of them, and make sure that you guys catch up on every single one of them, and I appreciate it. April 15th is the day. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. Share this out. Make sure you guys get all your friends to sub, and I'll see you guys later.